Thank you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this commissioning ceremony of the newly constructed accommodation block for soldiers, ratings, airmen and airwomen serving at the defense headquarters. This laudable project is in furtherance of the Chief of Defense Staff vision, which is to ensure a well-motivated, trained and equipped armed forces that is responsive to national security commitments. The armed forces of Nigeria has been confronted with the challenge of providing adequate barracks accommodation to cater for its increasing number of personnel. It was in response to this challenge that the CDS, General Olonisakin, embarked on deliberate aggressive construction scheme in the barracks for defense headquarters personnel in order to bridge the gap created by the dearth of barrack accommodation. It will be recalled that not long ago, about 156 flats were commissioned for soldiers at Mambila Barracks, while another block of 114 flats were commissioned for officers at Mogadishu Cantonment, christened Muhammadu Buhari Officers' Quarters. These well-furnished residential quarters are among the series of barrack accommodation constructed and provided by the Chief of Defense Staff. Today, it gladdens my heart that the accommodation blocks we are commissioning is also furnished to taste, just like the Director Engineering Services has explained to us. They have essential electronic appliances, beddings, chairs, table, kitchen utensils and other items for comfort of the beneficiaries and their families. The blocks being commissioned this morning contains 54 flats, which I believe will go a long way to alleviate the accommodation problem facing the defense headquarters. I'm aware that about 800 personnel were looking for accommodation when we finish this 54 flats, and the basis for allocation was primarily on seniority basis, and we considered the services, so it's not one-sided, and on pro rata basis the Army, Navy and Air Force personnel as well as the gender aspect was considered, and each was given allocation accordingly. This is not enough, but we are determined to continue as we get more resources to build more accommodation. While congratulating the personnel that will benefit from this newly constructed accommodation, I would like to urge you all to make good use of the facilities provided. Remember the popular saying that soldiers go, soldiers come, but barrack remain. Everybody. So, in a subtle reminder, I want you all to ensure that the facilities provided in these flats are not seen as personal properties. They are for the institution and they must be maintained. The facilities must be consciously managed and handled with care, and all beneficiaries must ensure that they protect them as well as keep them in good shape at all times. Anyone found damaging, removing or not willing to properly take care and handle any of the facilities provided will be sanctioned accordingly.
Please you to note that when I reported to Defense Headquarters this year, I saw the burden, I saw the desire in the Chief of Defense Staff in the area of accommodating officers and men. I want to state here that the pressure was so much on Defense Headquarters, and the Chief of Defense Staff, in his usual manner of being a welfareist, went out and directed that DES, you go out, you must get places where we can put up something for our men and officers. He stated and started with the men. It took me about 4 weeks in company of the garrison commander, as it were then, to go around the whole of this place to actually get a place where we could put up this structure that you are seeing today. The provision that was made was for 54 soldiers, airmen or ratings. The challenge, as it were, was to actually get a place where we can put them together. Though by the provision it was supposed to be in Mambila Barracks, but no space there. And we came here and located 2 places. This spot where we are, and then another one at Petinri quarters. Both of them with very challenging terrain, but we were able to overcome it. The first challenge was, what kind of foundation are we going to put down in this block standing in your front today? Looking at the terrain, if you go to the right, you have a serious embankment. We didn't know whether it was natural or artificial. But against the backdrop of the company that worked here, Julius Berger, there was an assumption that it's either a backfill or a natural terrain. Having that at the back of our minds, we now went to do geotechnical investigation to probe, and at the end of the day, the report came out and recommended strip foundation. But being a geologist, I said no, we will not do strip foundation. We will not do strip foundation but raft. As I speak to you, this structure you are seeing, the foundation is 1.5 meters of raft with a table on top, a slab of about 6 mm thick. So I can tell you that engineering wise, this house, for as long as it lasts, you will not see a crack due to uneven sentiment of the foundation. And when I told the CDS, he was very pleased. I'm not supposed to actually mention amounts here, but I will mention the figure. The foundation for this building alone cost 45 million by direct labor. On that note, I want to say that the whole construction package together, 54, and at Petinri quarters we have 2, divided into 2 blocks of 12 each, again because of space constraint. So we had to divide it into 2, and with the same approach, but there we have a strip foundation. Now, what are the common facilities that will give the comfort to these structures that we have? This particular one has a dedicated transformer to it. There is also a dedicated borehole with ground supply facilities to back up the primary source of water supply to these barracks. So they are all connected to 2 sources of water supply, the one from the water board and then the borehole. In addition to this, the CDS did not stop at just providing the accommodation alone. They have been given basic furnishing with orthopedic mattresses, not as we used to have, whereby the mattress will collapse after 6 months. These are mattresses that we are guaranteed for 25 years. Each of them a set of furniture, and the good thing about the furniture is that they were not just procured from the open market. They were produced so that we can be sure of the quality. Right inside the barracks here, where we have the new arrivals hall, we had to construct a workshop there to produce the furniture ourselves. And the good thing again for that is that we didn't just get a novice. The man that produced 10 years ago for Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Barracks was the same man that packaged his people that came and handled it. And I can assure you that this furniture, they are not the type you see by the roadside, but we are producing. Some of the side tables are what we are using right in your front there. And with the best of materials, with pillows, ceiling fan, set of chairs, and then kitchen cabinet. In addition to that, all the kitchens have their cabinets made. So I want to modestly state that the accommodation provided have basic requirements for the comfort of the men. And I want to encourage us to pray so that the CDS can be encouraged to provide more of these facilities as long as spaces are available. On that note, the representative of the CDS, sir, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, that is the brief about this accommodation provided for 54 of our soldiers, seamen and airmen today.
To have a well-motivated, trained and members of so in that light, it means with this accommodation, the welfare of our men are being taken care of. They have a place they can rest their head, sleep comfortably, and even members of their family, because we have observed that while in the field, they always complain, my family does not have a place to sleep, or they have not rested. And then I believe a well-rested body is a healthy one that would not be sick. So issues of coming home on welfare and admin purpose to attend to their family will not be there. So they won't be distracted. They will be more focused